Hello fellow treadlers. In this video I'm going to show you how I've set up this Singer cabinet with a steel coil belt, and why I've done it and how I've made it pretty quiet, and what advantages there are to setting them up with these spring coil belts. One of the things I've been asked about is how I connect the two ends. Here you can see I have a smaller diameter spring screwed down inside the two ends of this larger diameter belt, and that's held up very well. It never comes loose. It's pretty snug. It's about an inch of the smaller in there. You want to make sure that it's not rubbing on anything like the sides of the cabinet, holes, things like that. That helps keep it fairly quiet. Now I'm going to run it here and you can hear what it sounds like. The majority of the noise that you hear is actually the machine itself. It's not the belt. You might occasionally hear a little shoo sound type like that is spring rubbing on something, but it's very minor and it hasn't been a problem at all. This is my 319W, which is actually a machine Singer made around 1957. It had an external motor, and so it was easy to convert it over. But I did have to do a few things special to it to make it a treadle from an electric run machine. But what I love about it is it does everything. I've got a variety of decorative stitches. It's got reverse, it drops feed dogs, does a lot of things. It's a great free motion quilter machine, and I like to treadle, so I wanted to convert it into this. But this spring coil belt helps a lot with this machine in particular, and I'll show you why. If you're using this with some of the typical old treadle machines that were originally treadle machines, usually the bobbin settings and things won't be a problem. But this 319 had a different hand wheel on it, and so I ran into a problem with getting the bobbin winder to work correctly, so I had to do some messing around with that, which I'll show you here in a minute, a little more detail. But for the most part, any standard treadle machine, there's nothing to worry about when you convert to a steel coil leather belt. This is just was a special situation with this newer model of Singer. Here you see the old hand wheel that was on this machine originally, the solid one, and the diameter of this wheel, you'll notice, is quite a bit bigger than a standard spoke wheel, and that made a huge difference in treadling this machine, and switching over to the spoked wheel helped this machine run faster on the treadle than it would with the larger diameter. The other thing I added to my spoked wheel was a rubber band in the race where the belt would run. That helped to make it quieter, but it also kind of reduces wear, metal on metal wear on the wheel. And you'll also see that I put, there's comparing the two wheels and the size of the diameters. You can run this one with the original wheel. You can treadle it, but I found that the spoked wheel worked a lot better, made the treadling a lot easier, and it would go faster just because of the diameter differences. The other thing I did, other than just putting in the rubber band in the race, was you can see there's a black O-ring up on the ledge right here that I'm going to pull loose, and that was to make contact with the rubber wheel on my bobbin winder, and that was the amount of space that I couldn't adjust the bobbin winder down to. It also allows you to get under this machine very easily. This machine by Singer was made in what is kind of an odd way. The only way you can get to the bobbin to change it or to do anything with it is you've got to lift the machine up directly. You can't just open the top cover. And that made it kind of a hassle. I had to pull the belt every time and lift it up just to change a bobbin. Well, with the spring, all I have to do is push it up and I can get right to the bobbin. It's nice. Here you can see me, I'm putting a bobbin in, It's easy to lift. The spring coil works very well to just do something like this or to oil something quickly. They also have the screw for the feed dog, to drop the feed dogs, is right there that I'm twisting. So it's easy to just pull it up and then raise and lower the feed dogs and not have to pull the belt and mess around like that. So this particular machine, since it has that bobbin under there, that made it a lot easier. And here I'm doing some actual sewing on a quilt-as-you-go type placement I'm working on. And you can hear that it's really just normal machine sounds, and the spring doesn't add a lot of noise to this. Well, throughout this video you're going to hear some funny little kind of sounds, and that's actually my camera auto-focusing. It has nothing to do with the machine or the spring. One of the things that I did that really helped with some noise that was going on at first is way in the back of the machine there's a little belt guide that it kept rubbing on because the belt kind of vibrates and moves around so much. Well, I took a screwdriver and just loosened the screw and just pulled it off to the side so I don't use it. I've never had the belt come off, so it's not a problem, but that helped with the noise. And here I'm going to take the machine head out. I used the light on it, so I have to undo that. But I'll show you how easy it is to trade them in and out. What's nice about the spring is I don't have to resize a belt every time I move a machine, and I noticed right away that different machines, the newer machines compared to the old treadles, are different heights. So it was a problem that I'd put a machine on and have to get a different belt and put it in and mess around with that. This machine, in order to get the belt off, I do have to remove or loosen the spoked wheel. It's not a big deal, it's something quick and easy to do. With most of your old treadle machines, at least with mine, I don't have to mess with the wheel like this. The belt will slip right down into the race without any problem. Here I'm taking it off, and I just leave the wheel on and just put everything back and tighten them up, and I can put it back in the next time I want to throw this machine into the treadle cabinet. Here comes my original old Singer 27 that came with this cabinet. I'm going to put her back inside here. She's a real noisy machine compared to my 319, but it's just as easy as popping her in there, set the belt in the race. I don't have to, and then tighten up down below, tighten the belt up. Kind of noisy when you do that, but once you get it set in there, off she goes, and I don't have to resize the belt or mess around with any of that. So that's a real nice convenience of the spring coil belt. She's noisy. She sounds like an old Model A running or something. Well, that's my video, and if I can help you with anything, you can always email me with questions, but this is how I converted it over, and it makes it real easy to trade machines out, and it works very well with the 319 and some of the newer models of Singer.